Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And I decided to end the series. Might as well get it over with. I'm talking about Critters 4. You know it's lazy when they don't even bother to put subtitles in the title of the movie, right? It's not The Revenge. It's not Critters in Space. No, it's just Critters 4. Because who gives a fuck? This came out in 1992, so just 1 year after that third movie. This time it's directed by Rupert Harvey. And at the very beginning, who do we see? None other than Charlie, the character that just won't go away. He is played by Don Keith Opper, and after 4 movies, I had to learn the guy's name. Clearly, he's vital. He's important. He's the Ellen Ripley. He's the Sarah Connor of the Critters franchise, apparently. I'm sure there are fans of this character. I know there are people who maybe grew up on these movies and maybe they love the Charlie character. I just don't get it. I don't. I really don't. So you see, they're re-showing the same scene that was at the end of, I almost said Gremlins, Critters 3, where Charlie found 2 last eggs, and the bounty hunter said, well, we're going to come and collect them and don't do anything stupid or whatever. And of course, what does he do? We pick up after that where he does something stupid. He puts the 2 eggs in like a space pod. He goes inside of it, and the space pod goes out into space. Now, I did not read a synopsis before watching this. I had no idea what this movie was about. So when you see the space pod floating in space, and then they show a graphic that says 2045, I was like, what? We just jumped ahead in time? Like, so far ahead into the future? And this pod has been, dormant or frozen? No. No fucking way. We are not doing a Critters in Space plot. Yes, we are. And that's where we get introduced to our new group of characters. A bunch of space people out there. I mean, they're not aliens. They're humans in a spaceship, and they're just orbiting around. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe that how many horror movies divert towards it's the villain in space. Leprechaun in space. Pinhead was in space for Hellraiser 4. Jason even went to space. I mean, there is something about these horror sequels where I guess most of them, when they get to number 4, they run out of ideas. They don't know what the fuck to do. At least you could argue that these critters are from space. They are aliens. So I guess it's not the craziest thing to now have a movie set in space. But it's more bizarre that they decided to go that far into the fucking future. I don't know why it's 2045. I don't know what the importance of that is. It's not like there's a whole plot point of what the future of humanity or the reason why things are the way. No, it's just because. And our new group, though, I should talk about it. We have Captain Rick. And I mentioned Captain Rick. I mean, I don't know the actor, but what a piece of shit this Captain Rick guy is. I mean, not only is he a dick to his crew, not only does he enforce his power and make decisions that he clearly doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's a horrible captain. But there's one scene where there's like a younger kid on the ship. I don't know if he's somebody's son, or I don't know what the deal of that kid was. But he smacks him around. He, does some fucked up shit to him. But the scene that annoyed me the most with Captain Rick was Angela Bassett is in this movie. Let's talk about that for a second. Angela Bassett. And I know this is before she was really, really big and a household name and whatnot, but still, Angela fucking Bassett. So there's a scene where she goes to use the shower and he's just watching her. He's watching her from behind the door. You could see her silhouette. And then he creepily goes inside the shower to check her out naked. You do see her ass, so that wasn't all too bad. And he's trying to give her a towel, but he's clearly just checking her out. And she punches the fuck out of him, and it's satisfying to see that, but it's also more satisfying when he gets killed. He probably has one of the worst deaths in any of the Critters movies. These critters, there's one specifically that crawls inside of his mouth and eats his mouth from the inside. I'm talking about eats his tongue, eats down his throat. It's gross. And the practical effects, I thought it was very gnarly. And he definitely deserved it. But back to Angela Bassett. Holy fuck. How did this happen? I know she was probably just like, I'll take the work, I'll take whatever, right? Early in her career. But not only is she too good for this shit, but even at this time, she's the best actor in the movie. I mean, she's believable, she's buyable, she's emotional. There's one scene when a character gets killed and she reacts to it and she's practically in tears. And I'm like, Angela Bassett, you don't have to do this. You don't have to act this hard in a shitty movie like this. But I admire her commitment. She treats every project, apparently, like it's an Oscar fucking film. This movie did not deserve Angela Bassett, but at least they didn't kill her. She was the one lone black character and female character in the movie. She should have been more of the main character. I mean, she got a decent amount to do, but I would have liked if the whole movie was centered around her, if I'm being honest. Also, Brad Dourif, Chucky himself, is in this movie, and he's more of the computer guy, the tech guy, the smart guy. And so there's that. I guess there's not a whole lot more to him than that. When the critters show up, I guess the movie picks up a little bit because whenever they show up, they're just goofy and you know, they do what the critters like to do. This is probably the most tame that they are, though. You don't get a whole lot of violent stuff with them or over the top because they're in a confined space. They're on a spaceship, and there's not a lot to do. There's not a lot for them to do. It almost also feels like they cheapened out on the budget as far as what to do with the puppets. You know, like they just, it was the least creative use of the critters. I guess that's where I'm getting at. Now the movie took an interesting turn when the bounty hunter from the first three movies shows up, and it's the same dude, the same actor. Still, I guess they're still using the face of that guy for whatever reason, but now he's a dick. They don't really get into why he became a dick. I guess he got a promotion. I don't know. He shows up. He acts like he doesn't even know Charlie, and he's willing to kill the humans. And I know he's looking for the eggs, but I don't really get why he's being an asshole. Like, aren't you supposed to be killing these aliens because you're trying to protect people? Or I don't know. I guess we really never knew what the bounty hunter's deal was in the previous films. In this movie, he's just a dick. There was one scene that pissed me the fuck off when the crew is trying to find their way into a certain part of the ship. They come across the eggs. There are more eggs that the critters have made, and there's like, I don't know, maybe 10 of them. And Angela Bassett just loses her shit and just starts stomping away at them, breaking all of them, destroying the eggs, which is the smartest thing I think a character in the Critters movies has done. Let's destroy these fucking things before they hatch while it's easy to do. And then one of the characters grabs her and says, "Hey, stop, calm down, don't do that." And I'm like, even Charlie says that's enough. When there's still 2 or 3 eggs sitting there, whole eggs, I'm like, why not destroy them all? Why did they stop her? Because she was being emotional? Like, she had the right idea. It angered me. And Charlie, of all people, he's supposed to be the smart one. He's supposed to be the one that's done this shit before. And he stopped her? I know it's a minor thing. It still pissed me off. Overall, though, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the worst movie I've ever seen. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the worst horror movie in space. I listed all the other ones. All of those other movies are worse than this. Although Jason X is more fun, I guess. This movie had boring parts. This movie wasn't all that impressive or all that different from anything you've seen before. Very straightforward, even though they were in space and in the future. So guys, yeah, the movie's whatever. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Critters 4. Do you like it more than I did? Or are you like, wow, I can't believe this many films decided to go in space. It's just, it blows my mind. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later! Please won't you save my desires on fire? Sometimes you need a little peace at home. I'm tired, but so wired. Come follow me and I can lose you. Come follow me and take a trip to the dark side. Wait